Whew. Oh, all righty. You are looking live. It's sold out MetLife Stadium where today the 16-0 New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Dallas Cowboys. And why are the Dallas Cowboys 0-16? Because they suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all is going to spend a little time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Or if anybody spends any time at all watching the replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I can use all the support I can get, guys. So thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything they want to say, please feel free, fire away, throw in the chat box. I usually check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. Plus, instead of me just rambling on for like 30 minutes or whatever like that, sometimes it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free, fire away. Before we get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, in the description box below, the top link. I'm going to move the chair. Every time I start talking, my dog wants to get in there. It's amazing. He waits for me to start talking, then he wants to come in. But anyway, in the description box below, the top link takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second membership level I got is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. I thank you so much in advance. If you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. Once again, I can use all the support I can get. If you're not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. That way, next time I go live or put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, I thank you so much. Thank you. And then finally, also in the description box below, there are 2 Facebook links, okay? The top one takes you to my Facebook group, okay? It's called the New York Giants Gridiron, but it's a group. Basically, and I say this in every video, my YouTube channel, my Facebook group, and my Facebook page is all called the New York Giants Gridiron. That way, a moron like me, I don't forget. You know, it's the group. What's the group called? What's the page called? It's all called the same thing. All right. What do we have? We have over 3,200 members in the group. Okay. Basically, what I get when I'm pretty much done here, going live, I spend probably like the next 2 hours, sometimes even more, on the group and in the page, which I'm going to go over in a minute. Okay, just putting all kinds of stuff in there. You know, I try to get as much, like at least maybe 10 things or so a day, whether it's a post, a picture, a video, something making fun of the Cowboys or the Eagles. Obviously the big thing here today is got a couple screenshots of the Giants schedule, which we're going to go over in a minute or so. But I post stuff in here as well. Okay. The, members, if you become a member, you post stuff in here as well too. So between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants stuff goes in here every day. And then also the second Facebook link, okay, takes you to my page. It's called the New York Giants Gridiron, but it's a page, okay. I'm the administrator, so I'm the only one to post anything in here, but it's the same thing. Okay, what do we got? We have over 1,200 people who like the page, and we have over 4,700 people who are following the page. It's really, I tell you what, it's really doing good. It's really taking off. I'm very happy with the page here. But it's the same thing, right? 7 days a week, pretty much. I try to get at least like 10 things or so in here a day. I'm going to add some more stuff to it. I just put a picture in here of the 1998 New York Giants yearbook. Okay, it's got a picture of Jim Fossil on there, Danny Canal, it's got Jesse Armstead, Jason Sehorn, Charles Way, right? Michael Strahan's on there. Got a bunch of stuff in there, right? All kinds of, obviously, different things showing about the the schedule that just came out and everything. But so between the two, and I don't commingle. So basically, whatever post or pictures I put in the page does not go in the group for the most part. There's something really juicy, like maybe something that makes fun of the Eagles. I'll share it with everybody. That's my favorite. making fun of the Eagles. That's what I live for. That's why I breathe. That's why I get up in the morning, to make fun of the Eagles, right? So if there's anything that really makes fun of the Eagles, I'll share it with the page and the group. But for the most part, I try to keep stuff separate, okay? But, like if you go to the page and you like it and you follow it, and you go to the group and you become a member, between the two, you get a ton of New York Giants information every day. Every day, 7 days a week, pretty much 365, right? As I say, like in every video, okay? If you do all of that, you like and you follow and you got the page and the group and all that stuff and everything, if you're not 100% satisfied, you get your money back guaranteed. All right, with all that stuff said and done now with, wow, I'll tell you. Whoo! I mean, there's, wow. What can you say? I mean, tomorrow night I'm going to do a nice, hopefully a nice long, maybe deep kind of dive into, more into the schedule here and everything. But let's see here. Yeah. They finally went back to going against the Cowboys. It said they hadn't done that since 2019. The Giants, let's see here. It says, okay, obviously they're opening the season up at home against the Cowboys on Sunday night. Okay. The Giants have not opened up against the Cowboys since 2019 because they were doing that for a while there. It just kind of almost became some type of like a tradition. They started against the Cowboys 6 times from 2012 to 2019. So what was that, like 8 seasons? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 8 seasons. He had 6 out of those 8 seasons they started against the Cowboys in week 1. Okay, and a lot of times it was, on Sunday night. Usually you'll get the Cowboys and the Giants either a Monday night or Sunday night game, usually. Okay, so they're starting the season at home. Okay. It says the last time they opened a season at MetLife Stadium against the Cowboys was in 2012. So usually when they started against the Cowboys, usually it was in Dallas. Okay. The last 5 Giant Cowboys season openers were all played in Dallas. So, okay. Let's see, I was there in 2013 and we lost that one. Yeah. Anyway, Giants will stay out west. Yeah. Then you got, so one thing I like about it, I do like about starting. Oh, what's up, Terrence? What we got? Schedule is not favorable to. Oh my God. It's historically tough. Since they've gone back since 1990, they said when they started the bye week. There's no team that started with 7 of their first 10 games on the road. Holy crap. Then you start looking at the schedule and it's like you realize how many tough games they got, But I like the first game. Okay, at least we're playing at home. And it just, it doesn't mean, because you see the schedule, how hard it is, how long, 18 weeks, anything can happen in 18 weeks. You know what I mean? But what I like is that, one thing you want to try to do is what you have to do is you have to start, you can beat the Commanders at least once, right? You have to beat the Cowboys and you have to beat the Eagles. Okay. Now, I'm not saying we're going to the Super Bowl, or I'm not saying we're going 12-5 or whatever, but even if we wind up 9-8, 8-9, I don't, who knows? 10-7, who knows? But at least going forward, you're home, right? Hopefully we'll be somewhat healthy. Hopefully we can come out of training camp and preseason, not with 37 guys on IR. It would be freaking amazing, But if you want to, set the precedent, right? What 2 things we got to do, right? We got to beat the Eagles. We got to beat the Cowboys, right? So you got to, I'm not saying we're going to be able to run. I'm not saying we're going to beat the Eagles and the Cowboys 3 out of 4 games, but you got to win one of those games. You got to beat somebody. You can't go 1-4-1 again in the division. You got to be at least 3-3 in the division, at least. How are you supposed to win a division or expect to win a playoff or go to the Super Bowl if you can't even win your own division? Not that it hasn't happened before. The Giants did that in 2007. Of course, they didn't win a division, right? They beat the Cowboys in the playoffs, right? So it's not saying it's impossible, but I mean, if you can't beat the Cowboys and you can't beat the Eagles, how do you expect you're not winning a division? You'll be lucky to make the playoffs. And then if you can't beat anybody in your own division, how do you expect to go to the Super Bowl? Right? I mean, because it's not only the Cowboys and Eagles, there are other good teams out there as well, too. So if you can't beat, there's two teams in your division you can never beat. And then you expect to beat San Fran, too. How you planning, So they got to, this would be perfect, really, really perfect to start. I mean, after this, it's just kind of like, oh my goodness, we'll go over this in a second. I mean, oh my God, and again. But if you can start the season off, it doesn't matter. You win 19-18, 20-19. They did 2016. Yeah. Victor Cruz's last touchdown reception was week 1 in Dallas. We beat the Cowboys 2019. Of course, that was we went to the playoffs in 2016, right? 2019. That's all you got. Win by 1 point. We don't have to. Well, we beat the Cowboys. We only beat them by 3 points. If you want to beat the Cowboys, you got to beat them by at least 14. No, you just beat them by a point. Okay, take the point, take the 1 win, and move on. Right. So I mean, I'm saying this is good because the way the Giants, especially with their injuries and all. I mean, if this was like halfway through the season, we could be walking wounded by then, and the Cowboys could come in and want to beat us. But week 1, if we're relatively healthy, this would be, good. Like what we did last year, right, with Tennessee, right? I don't know how many people gave us a shot at going into Tennessee and beating Tennessee, okay? But we did it, okay? What we got? Out West trip is a good early season team. Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah, because they'll probably be out there for 2 weeks. Yeah, we'll go over that in a second. Yeah. Early on. Yep. Absolutely. So I think I like this. I like to start early against the Cowboys, because I think if anything, we've certainly closed the gap, if not, totally closed the gap with the Cowboys after our draft. I think getting guys back, okay, not losing a lot of guys, good draft, good maybe some drafted free agents. Maybe I think we really closed the gap quite a bit with the Cowboys, and I think we have a very good shot at beating them at least one time. Because as I said, let's not forget we were beating them both games last year. Last year we were beating them with 5 minutes to go. I think it was in the third quarter at home. And then somehow we let a backup quarterback score 17 points against us in a row, and the game was over. Almost over. But then we were winning at halftime on Thanksgiving. And then, of course, we let them score 3 touchdowns and before we scored with 8 seconds to go. But I think, there's a good game. I think week 1, I'll be live for that. I'll be going live for that. So we'll be going live for that one. So hopefully maybe I'll bring some good luck or something like that. But we'll be live for week 1. I freaking forgot already. What the hell was the date? Okay, September 10th. Okay, so that does then take that, because you kept, of course, that just goes to tell you. It's like you hear all these rumors, Giants, Jets, September 11th. That would make a lot of sense to me. Make a lot of sense. I don't know what happened to it, but it was what it was. But so much for that Giant Jet September 11th rumor, right, where they're playing, each other on Monday night. But anyway, I think this is good. I think this is a good way to open up the season. Okay. But then we got, then you realize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Am I reading that right? 10. Yeah. Right, yeah. So you figure 7 out of the next 10 games are on the road. It's like, wow. Simply amazing. Simply amazing. So then they open up, I like. I like the back-to-back, out there on the West Coast now against, Arizona. Okay, I'm certainly not saying we're winning. We're going to win that game or blah blah blah. But we got a shot at. I mean, Arizona's kind of they were a little bit of a mess last year, so hey, I'm sure Murray will be back. But I like that the back out there. Now, what the hell is one? Okay, and then you figure. I mean, but you also figure. I mean, the one thing is that also they're playing their 3 first games within like 11 days. I mean, which is another one. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Where is it? Let's see. Here we go. Yeah. See, the Giants are the first team to be forced to play on the road 7 times in the first 10 weeks of the season since the NFL reinstated bye weeks in 1990. I'm just trying to see here. 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. Well, actually, it's not. It's 7 out of 11. I mean, unless I'm missing something here. It's 7 out of the first 11 games. Because they got they got the Cowboys and they got 2 on the road. Then they're coming back against basically, it's like they got 1 and then 2 on the road, 1 and then 2 on the road, then 2 at home, then 3 on the road. I mean, it's like, But the nice thing is, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. They got 4 of their last 6 at home now, which is nice. Okay. But, I said, I like that, that was one of the things I'm sure they called up, the office or something like that. And between the Raiders, okay, the Raiders, the Cardinals, and the 49ers, I'm sure they called out there the office. I mean, because I'm sure all the teams know who they're playing. Obviously, you know who you're playing on the road, you know who you're playing at home. And obviously, the NFL office, I'm sure, probably gets 7 trillion calls from the teams. You think we can do this? You think we can do so I'm sure that quite possibly the Giants might have called out there. I mean, because, you want to fly out there 4 or 5 hours, whatever it takes, fly back 4 or 5 hours, 2-3 weeks later, fly back out there 5 hours, fly back 2-3 weeks later, fly back out there. So I'm sure, there's a good possibility that somebody from the Giants, Mr. Mara or whoever, I don't know, maybe Shane, I don't know who makes those kind of calls, but called and say, can you give us maybe back to back? Because remember, it was a couple of years ago, and it just goes to show you how just unbelievably pathetic, I guess, the Giants were at the time. The opening game of the season, because I remember watching this on DirecTV. I had the Sunday ticket. I got the Sunday ticket again. It's on YouTube TV, so I got it there. But I'll tell you what, boy, if anybody's got DirecTV, I tell you what, change. I was paying $220 a month for DirecTV, and that's like I had some couple premium channels. I didn't have much of it. $220 a month. Now I'm paying $70 for YouTube TV. I'm saving $150 a month. I mean, $150 a month just on my TV service. That's fantastic. YouTube, there's no boxes. There's none of that crap. I mean, because with DirecTV, I was getting charged for their boxes. I was renting the boxes each month and all that. It was, So YouTube TV, I bought the Sunday ticket on YouTube TV and the NFL, the Red Zone too. Okay, so I got the Sunday ticket and the Red Zone. So I'll be able to watch all the out-of-market games every week. So I'll be able to watch every game once again every week. I've been doing that ever since 2000. I had DirecTV installed in 2000. So ever since 2000, I've been able to watch every game, right? But with the YouTube, they got the Sunday ticket and the Red Zone. So you save yourself a ton of money, a bunch of money. But a couple of years ago, the 49ers, they had back-to-back games. And the first week of the season, okay, I remember watching this game on DirecTV, right? They played the Jets, okay? The following week, they played the Giants. So they played back-to-back games in New York, okay? I think they won them both. I think they beat the Jets, and I know they totally annihilated the Giants. It was just it was comical. I mean, because the first week of the season, I don't remember how many guys, 2 or 3 guys, the 49ers lost a lot of guys, okay, because of the turf in MetLife Stadium. They lost, that was a Bosa they lost like 2 or 3 guys for the whole season because of the turf, and they were really complaining. I know they had a I forgot what that backup quarterback in there. I don't know, Jimmy G was hurt or whatever it was. And it was, so they had lost like a ton of guys. They had a backup quarterback in there, and they still beat the Giants by like 500 points on the road. It was like, are we that bad? I mean, what an embarrassment. But I mean, things like that. I mean, if you got, you got 2 West Coast trips or something like that, you call up, so. We got, I don't want to say screwed. I mean, because we know we had a tough schedule, period. Okay. But to get the back-to-back, the Cardinals and the 49ers, I'm sure they're going to stay out there, but get them both out of the way with. Okay. Then you got to come, back. I mean, it's a tough, my goodness. I mean, as I said, the Cardinals, obviously, don't get me wrong. Every game is tough. It's not, we got that one, chalk that one up. No, I mean, you got to go out and you got to win every game. So, I mean, to go out there and play the Cardinals, if you want to win, you got to win. You got to go out, put the big boy pants on, you got to play and you got to win. And certainly because you want to play, because you want to win, it doesn't mean you know what I mean? But, so hopefully maybe between, those two, maybe we can pull one of them out. Be nice, right? If we can beat the Cowboys and pull one of those 2 out, maybe start 2-1. Okay, then we got to come back. It's going to be tough. I mean, then the next that we got the Seahawks. I mean, I'll tell you what, boy. I mean, if you got Lockett and Jigba and Metcalf out on the field at the same time, good luck and God bless. I mean, then you go from there, and you got to go on the road. And it's speaking of in Jigba. Lockett, Metcalf, then we got to play the Dolphins, right? I mean, with Waddle and Hill running around out there, of course, I'm just assuming that all these guys will be healthy too. So, I mean, and if you ever listen to Bob Papa, he's the radio voice, very, very knowledgeable, very knowledgeable. He's been doing, I think since the 90s, I think he's been doing the radio voice. And of course, there's Carl Banks there, who's the dude's a freaking ton of, Mr. Knowledge himself. I mean, right. But if you ever listen to Bob Papa talk, okay, and I always remember this, right? It's not so much who you play, meaning the team, it's when you play them, right? I mean, because you could be playing somebody. I mean, like last year, right? Just take for example, right? Final week of the season, right? Giants had their 2nd and 3rd string players in there, right? Basically, it would have been tough to beat the Eagles, period. Okay. But basically, right. You know what I mean? We don't need the game, right? We got a 2nd, 3rd string players in there. Here you go, Billy. Congratulations. You're probably going to get a win, right? One last year too. Another prime thing was the Giants, right? When they played the Cowboys one of the times, they had a backup quarterback in there. But somehow we made Cooper Rush look like Joe Montana, right? We held the Cowboys to 6 points, like within 5 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter, and then we gave up 17 points within like the next quarter, 15 minutes. I mean, just I mean that should have been, right? It should have been hopefully a W. You're playing a backup quarterback. You got a good chance of winning. You're at home. You need the win. Nope. I mean, also last year of the Eagles. Now that certainly if Jimmy G was healthy or Trey Lance was healthy, right? The Eagles still might have won. You don't know, but or Brock Purdy was in there, right? I mean, if he was healthy. That certainly doesn't mean the Eagles would have lost. Absolutely not. The Eagles had a fantastic team last year. Healthy, fantastic team. The whole freaking team up and down. Oh, right? Certainly doesn't mean they would have lost. But it might have been a little closer. Might have been a little more interesting game. If they, because in the second half, I mean, you got Christian McCaffrey out there trying to throw footballs. I mean, come on. I mean, So then I think Purdy came back in, I think it was, but he couldn't throw the ball. All right, so yeah, we got a quarterback. You can't throw the football. You know what I mean? All right, so it's not so much, when you're playing them or who you're playing, it's when you're playing them, right? I mean, are they banged up? Are they like, let's go right here. All right, let's go here with the Giants. Right, Giants got to play what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Giants got to play 12 games, then they get a bye. 12 games. Now, the nice thing about that, okay, so, it's nice there because they're going to play the Patriots, okay, at home. Then they get a bye. Then they get the Packers, okay? Not bad. And then if you want to look at that, we got to play the Commanders, okay? That's a nice little stretch. We got to play the Commanders on the road. Winnable game. Doesn't mean we're going to win it. Winnable game. But then we got home with the Patriots. We could win that one, right? Bye week. So then, if we're actually still in the playoff hunt and all that stuff, maybe we can get some guys back and make. Then what we got? 4 games after that? 5. I'm sorry, my bad. 5. Then we got 5 games left, right? Maybe get a little healthy, okay, and to finish up the season strong. Maybe with these 5 games, okay, right? I mean, so the one nice thing about having obviously a delayed bye is that if you're getting nicked up and banged up and losing guys and this, that, and the other thing, it's tough to get them all back at the same time, you know what I mean? Because maybe one guy might come back, but then that week you lose 2 guys. And then the next week you might get 2 guys back, but then you might lose 2 more guys, you know what I mean? But at least when you got the bye week, obviously you can do a little bit of recuperate. So the one nice thing is that the late bye is that you get all those injuries. Obviously, if you're playing a full season of football, it doesn't matter how many byes you can have. You can have 35 byes. You need the off season to recover. For your bumps and bruises and all. But it helps a lot. Okay, it certainly helps a lot. But also, I mean, if you look at it, like the Giants got to play the first 3 weeks, 11 games in 3 weeks. The first 3 games in 11 days. I'm sorry, 11 days. I mean, my goodness. Let's see, the prime time. Yeah, they got to finish with Philadelphia, right? I mean, kind of how we did that a little bit last year with the Redskins. We played the Redskins. We had a week off, then we played the Redskins again. Well, it's the same thing here. We played obviously on Christmas against the Eagles. Then when our last 2 games are home. Okay, the last 2 games are home. All right, so we got the Rams, and then we got the Eagles again. So, it's going to be tough. But I mean, the Rams, a beatable team. Beatable, right? Let's see where the heck we at. I mean, but see, there's this article came out here from Big Blue View. It says, I mean, I think they're off a little bit here. Because it says the Giants are the first team to be forced to play road 7 times in the first 10 weeks of the NFL season. Well, they must have had this. They must have had the schedule wrong or something like that, because the Giants are playing 7 of the first 11 on the road. They got 4 home games. So after 11 weeks, the Giants have 4 games at home, and then they had 7 on the road. Okay, but at least they get to finish up. 4 out of the last 6 are home, and 4 out of the last 6 at home, and a bye week, right? But so now we got, so I said, so we got the West Coast trip, and we got the Seahawks coming to town. Going to be tough, okay? Not that the Seahawks really beat us. They didn't get a lot of offense last year. Honest, our offense was kind of stagnant. Of course, Richie James had 2 fumbled punts. Seahawks got them both. I think that led to 10 points for the Seahawks, if I'm not mistaken. But, I mean, our offense was rather stagnant last year. They did a good job shutting down Saquon in that game, taking him out. So, hopefully this time we're going to have stuff reversed. Maybe we can, our offense won't be quite as stagnant. Let's see. Then in this article, it says the Giants' schedule from weeks 5 to 10 reads like someone idea of a cruel prank. The Giants are on the road 5 of 6 weeks. Is that right? 5 of 6 weeks? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. No. Yes. I mean, there's an article out here from Big Blue View that says that, they got at Miami, at Buffalo, at Washington, at Miami. They're wrong. See, there's an article here that has the Giants. Says the Giants are playing on the road weeks 5, 6, and 7. Actually, week 7 they're at home against the Commanders. So I mean that's. But let's see. So we got the Dolphins. Okay, in the 5th game of the season on the road. That's obviously going to be tough. Then we got a Sunday night game. That should be a nice one, right? Against the Bills in Buffalo. At least there won't be snowing or anything like that. Okay, but that should be a nice battle, right? Daniel Jones going against Josh Allen. That should be going. Okay, then we got 2 at home. Okay, then we got the Commanders. Okay, at home. Then we got the Jets. Now the Jets, once again, their offensive line's a little suspect. So if maybe what is that there? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 8th game. Who knows? But with maybe Mr. Rogers gets a little banged up or something. We'll have to wait and see. But the Jets will be tough. They have a very good defense, so that'll be a very tough game for the Giants. Then they got 3 on the road, according to this right here. Okay, we got the Raiders, we got the Cowboys. Okay, and then we got the Commanders. All right, so I mean the Raiders. I'm not overly impressed with them. Be interested to see. Then of course, then we got the Cowboys. All right, then we have then we got the Commanders. We were able to beat the Commanders last year, but we did it with a rather not a very good offense last year. That we went to Washington. We didn't have a very good offensive performance there against the Commanders. But then we got the Cowboys, right? Okay, so and then what do we got here? Then we got then we come home and we got 2 games. Okay, we got the Patriots. Then we got the bye week. Okay, and then we have the Packers. Okay, so now now Mr. Rogers and his neighborhood won't be there. Okay, so maybe we can beat the Packers back-to-back seasons. That wouldn't be bad. Then we got to go on the road against the Saints. That would be a tough game. Always be a tough game. So we got the 2. We have the Saints. Then we have to play the Eagles on Christmas Eve. Is that Christmas Eve or Christmas Day? Christmas Day. We got to play the Eagles Christmas Day. So then we finish up against the Rams and then the Eagles at home. So it's a tough one. I mean, it certainly is. So we got what do we got here? It says prime time. Let's see. The Giants will be on prime time Sunday, Monday, and Thursday spots. It says 5 times. They also have the 4:30 Christmas Day slot against the Eagles and a 4:25 start against the Raiders. And let's see. And then then they got then they got a Christmas Eve game too. So they got a Christmas Eve, a New Year's Eve game. They got a New Year's Eve game against the Rams, and they got a Christmas game against the Eagles. Okay. Then they got Monday Night Football against the Packers. All right. Then we got what else we got here? Then we got Sunday Night Football against the Bills. Okay. Then we got Monday Night Football against the Seahawks. All right, then we have Thursday night. That's going to be a Thursday night game against the 49ers. So that'll be the 3rd game for the Giants. It's going to be the same thing with the 49ers, though, too. It's going to be the 3rd game for them within 11 games. All right, so the 49ers will probably be playing the 10th. The 49ers will be playing the 17th, and then the 49ers have to play the 21st as well, too. So that'll be the 3rd game for the 49ers, too, in 11 games. So the Giants are playing Sunday Night Football. What we got? 2 times. All right, Sunday. Yeah. So we're playing Sunday night against the Cowboys. We're playing Sunday night against the Bills. We're playing Monday night, against the Seahawks. And we're playing Monday night against the Packers. That's an interesting one. I'm not sure why the Giants and Packers are playing on Monday night. It's not like Aaron Rodgers is going to be there. I'm a little weirded out about that one. But Then we have the Thursday night game. So our Thursday night game is going to be a tough one in San Francisco. Going to be a tough one. But at least after that, at least they get to come fly back home and have a home game. But so we got four of our first 11 games will be at home. I mean, that's tough. That's tough. What we got? Yeah. But then at least 4 of our last 6 will be at home now. Have 4 of the last 6 at home, and we'll also have a bye. So that winds up being huge. Let's see what else we got. Did I say anything else in this? I got this article there to say. Yeah, pretty much that's about it. We got the late bye week. Yeah, I mean. So schedule. I mean, you got to play all these teams regardless. I mean, this now we know how it's laid out. But at least we know we're starting the season against the Cowboys. We're finishing the season against the Eagles. What do we got here? See the Cowboys. Okay, yeah, the Cowboys are they're finishing their season against the Commanders. So it's the Commanders and the Cowboys. They're finishing their season together, and then you got the Giants and the Eagles. They're finishing their season together. So that's how that's working out. I guess it was kind of the same thing as it was last year. The Giants finished up against the Eagles. So same thing here. But 2 out of the last 3 games, is that right? 2 out of the last 3 games against the Eagles. Yeah. I mean that's. I thought they would maybe spread them out a little bit more, but it is what it is. But I like the opening day game. Right. I mean, yeah, they got well, also because last year they had 9 home games, 8 on the road. This year it's reversed, right? So this year they got 8 home games and 9 on the road. Would have been nice if one of their road games was against the Jets because they'd be playing in the same stadium, right? And also the one nice thing too was last year they had 9 home, 8 on the road, but out of those 8 on the road, one of them was in London, cup of tea, right? So it was a road game for the Giants, but it was also a road game for the Packers as well too. The Packers. I mean, they maybe had more fans, tickets for the fans or whatever, at the game. But I mean, it was basically a road game for both teams, right? So I mean, so the Giants had a nice, easier schedule. A favorable schedule. Obviously, we had more home games than we did road games, but this year it's we got 8 at home, 9 on the road, and it is what it is. I mean, if they're gonna want, if they're gonna want to get back to the playoffs, they got to earn it. I mean, so we got the Cowboys, the 49ers, the Seahawks, the Dolphins, the Bills, the Jets will be tough. Cowboys again, right? The Eagles twice. So I mean, you certainly got some winnable games. Certainly have some winnable games. I mean, the Rams, the Saints. I mean, Drew Brees ain't there no more, so that's a winnable game, right? The Packers is winnable. The Patriots is winnable. We certainly can beat the Cowboys at least once. The Commanders, both those games are winnable. The Raiders are winnable. Let's see. The Cardinals is winnable, right? We're playing at home against the Seahawks, right? I mean, the Seahawks didn't kill us last year. They did on a scoreboard, but right. So I mean, we certainly got some winnable games, but once again, a lot of it's got to be, health. Got to stay healthy, especially when those first 12 games or so, or 11, 12 games are on. You're playing, and then you got a bye week, so. Health is going to be very important this year. It's going to be a long season, going to be a tough season, but once again, it's going to be an exciting season. But I do like the opener against the Dallas Cowboys. That kind of, as I said, even if you win that, it doesn't mean that we're going to the playoffs. It doesn't mean that. But what it would mean is that you close the gap. I mean, you can beat the Commanders, right? Now you got to start proving that you can beat the Cowboys and the Eagles, right? And if at home. First game of the season, if you can be kind of healthy, right, and you go in there and give it your all and everything, right? I mean, if we come out with a W against the Cowboys in week 1, that would be huge because then that just goes to show you, okay, we know we can beat the Commanders. We just beat the Cowboys. Okay, now we got to start working on beating the Eagles. Right, so. But it should be, once again, it should be great. I'm going to take a little deeper dive because there's a lot more stats and all that kind of stuff and everything I want to go over with this. But the schedule is out. Now we know what we're facing, guys. All right, guys. Well, it's been 40 minutes. Holy cow, talking about the schedule. Well, Terrence, as always, buddy, good talking to you. Thank you, pal. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And if anybody spends any time watching me at all here, thank you. If anybody spends any time at all watching the replay, this once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I can use all the support I can get, guys. Thank you. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.